36 right, and clear to land.
Right. Taxi that long easy down there. We'll get him out of the way.
You're behind by at least 3,000 feet. Give me good space all the way in. I need the base leg in tight so that the tower can pick you out on the base leg with your tight for the landing sequence.
Okay, 6-1, Mike, stand by just a second.
Okay, Black 1 towing a Voyager. I think I was set out last night.
It's on the left side, heading to the 365.
The airport, right down 1.36. Tower 126.6, please.
Oshkosh ground, Black 1.
Black 1, Oshkosh, John.
Starting to move with the Voyager.
Black 1, okay.
All aircraft off into the grass. A left turn into the grass, please. Into the grass.
Oshkosh, Wisconsin, the private flyer's paradise. 15,000 aircraft fly in to take part in the greatest air show on Earth. And for 1 week each year, it becomes the world's busiest airport. Nearly 1 million people come to the event, drawn by a passion for aircraft. It's celebrations, supermarket, and circus all rolled into one. And the climax is the flying.
Right about in here, they call the smoke on. There goes the general half roll. Charlie now to the inverted flight position. His B.F. Goodrich aviator tires pointing up towards the sky. The wingmen with their tires pointing down towards the runway.
For the pilots, flying is a love affair, and Oshkosh is its consummation.
I grew up loving airplanes. I was a small girl. I used to fly with my dad, who was an airline pilot, and as soon as I knew what an airplane did and what it was, I knew I was going to fly someday. You know, it's not so much of flying in front of crowds. I love the people, there's no question about that. But when I'm up there flying, there could be 3 people out here or 30,000, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm up there trying to perfect maneuvers, and being that it's flown to music, it's like a ballet. A lot of pilots will sit over in the tavern or something and talk about flying on the ground, and there's something about it that's so indescribable that they relate it to sex, if you will. But it's a joy that you can't describe. It's the freedom that you feel when you're up there. It's man and machine, or woman and machine, if you're person and machine. And you're controlling that aircraft, making it do what you want it to do. And it's just a joy. It's hard to describe.
The common bond that bonds every aviator is, well, has been described in many ways. Chuck Yeager, in his book, described it as the right stuff. The movie Iron Eagle described it as the touch. But it's that magic that every pilot feels, the drive, the determination. The reason that every pilot flies is because flying is so free. It's so individual. Pilots recognize that magic. They recognize that in each other, and it's what does bind every aviator to himself.
It struck me when I was first taking flying instructions that flying and playing a musical instrument are very similar, because you're balancing a lot of things at once and thinking about a lot of things. And I think that did help me with my flying.
Now, with the smoke on, ladies and gentlemen, from Fort Worth, Texas, Mr. Charlie.
There's a lot of freedom and a sense of power with flying that you can also have with music.
I remember
remember the first year I was in a big symphony orchestra, the conductor of the time, Joseph Cripps, a very famous European conductor, said he wanted us to play as if we were escaping up into heaven, and he threw this wonderful, grandiose gesture up to the top of the music hall. And I even remember thinking then that that was the same gesture I would have used if I was trying to describe what flying felt like. It's really an escape, and I think most pilots, myself included, feel that it's a very spiritual kind of an activity to carry on, because you really are trying to reach into your own spirit and get out there and feel free and feel in control and feel in command, and it's just something wonderful that happens in the pit of the stomach. Pilots are like birds. Where else can you get a chance to soar out there and experience the earth from above and feel that somehow you're beyond all of that humanity? You got a kind of a special thing there, and every pilot has that knowledge that they feel that way, and so therefore it kind of brings us all together. We're a family. They're very, very special people, and I think that every pilot has a twinkle in their eyes, the special knowledge that they get from flying, the special feeling they get. And it's fun. It's just plain fun to fly.
In this temple of aircraft worship, building your own machine is as important as flying it. Part of the ritual is the pilgrimage to the Oshkosh Fly Mart.
I tell you the truth, sir, I think it may have come out of a small chicken house. I don't really remember. But for the price for $100, you can't miss.
It's tough. I mean,
just hold that thing. Just feel that thing.
Hold that a minute.
Well, this makes my heart throb right here now.
Bearing sounds good.
1,000 feet per minute. Maybe the other one would be better because the right here, because the markings there.
What are you building?
Well, I'm building a tri-Q, a Q2 but with a tricycle gear. Well, I'm going to try, but I'm still looking for an engine.
Oh, we got them due when you get home.
Oh, yeah.
Call.
Okay, I will.
Parked across 4 square miles is the prized handiwork of thousands of do-it-yourself enthusiasts.
So many aircraft home builders are lonely creatures, working alone in dark garages, and finally, one day after years of work, wheeling out this airplane. Oshkosh is that one glorious time when they let go of loneliness, and all at once they're together. And when they're together, it is the most astonishing event in all of aviation.
And when you reach the top of a loop, do you have control?
At slow speeds, you have control, but it's wallowy.
Yeah.
It's not very positive.
When you personally take some sheets of cloth or sheets of aluminum and a handful of rivets, you put these together and it flies. There is something that cannot be shared with anyone who hasn't done this.
You say when? Okay, let's do it. Here we go.
Frank Bates and Dwayne Bunker are typical of the breed. They spent 3.5 years lovingly building their own aeroplane.
Good.
sure fits a lot easier nowadays. Yeah. Used to.
Yeah, your side goes in first. Well, we started off building it in my garage. The plans are very detailed when you start out for the construction. They get less detailed as you go along because they figure you're supposed to be learning something as you go. I'd do the mechanical part of the work, and Frank would look at the plans and keep me straight and keep everything going. And so it worked out very well.
Look at the whistle.
Wow, that slips in the way it's supposed to.
That's the way it's supposed to go.
It took us a lot longer to build it than we thought it would. It looked like a pretty simple thing when you started it, but it's pretty complicated when you really get into it. Okay, I got one more. We've spent, I'd say, 10,000 hours building it. The point of where you're getting close to flying, when everything is coming close to an end, and you realize that pretty soon you're going to be going up in this thing, everything gets a little bit more important. So, but the last minute, I had to test fly it. So that kind of put a little more importance on it. I think we took another month after you told me I was going to test fly it.
Get that in. I mean, get it right side up. I want to fly it upside down. Here she goes. Okay, master's on. Let's see if she'll fire up now.
You have to have a goal in mind. You have to have this dream that, by George, it can be done. You just have to have that self-confidence that it will result in a flyable machine. I think the statistics show that only 20% of the plans that are sold ever result in a completed airplane. 80% are never finished. And those dreams die on the workshop floor. We finished ours. We're happy. To be able to get out there and construct something that will actually perform like this airplane does is just a magnificent sensation. There's no way to describe it. When you take that airplane and give it the power, give it the throttle, roll down the runway and pull back on the stick, and by George, she lifts, she flies. And you say, gosh, this is something I helped build. And then when you think back about it, that's quite an accomplishment. Dwayne said it's a chance to show off. It's graduation day. It's the coming out party. It's the debutante's ball. And you've got this beautiful thing that you want to display. And you're very proud of it. To me, it's a therapy. It's a cleansing of your soul. And you get up there and cloud dance, and it's unfettered. It's a tremendous feeling of freedom. And as I told my wife, it's certainly better than an analyst and far cheaper. Slip the bonds of earth and you're there soaring. It's just magnificent to be up on a beautiful day in this beautiful country flying. You feel free as a bird.
Something we've always dreamed of is coming to Oshkosh to see all these other crazy people.
Crazy people they are too, but to bring your plane to Oshkosh after you've worked on it for 3.5 years to build it, and then to compare it with the other builders and see how your plane stacks up against the others, and the joy of being able to do that, to accomplish it, is just unbelievable.